大家好，我是 Jenny， 欢迎来到沉思者 J。今天我们要说的这个人，他说了4个字，这4个字被后来的人挂在书房里，印在马克杯上，做成刺绣送给亲戚，但几乎每一个人都误解了他的意思。他叫郑板桥，本名郑燮，板桥是他的号，清朝人，1693年出生于江苏兴化。他是画家，是诗人，是书法家，是扬州八怪之一，也是一个做官之后宁愿丢官的人。那4个字是难得糊涂。今天我们就来说说郑板桥，说那个看起来糊涂，其实最清醒的人。郑板桥出生于一个读书人家庭，父亲是一个有学问但并不富裕的读书人，家境还算过得去，但不算宽裕。他3岁的时候，母亲就去世了，是继母抚养他长大，继母对他很好，他后来有很多文章都提到继母的恩情。他从小就跟父亲学习，父亲是他的启蒙老师。郑板桥这个孩子，记忆力好，也有自己的个性。他读书不只是死记，他喜欢问为什么。他的书法从小就有天赋，但他没有沿用任何一家的古典帖子，他在古人的字里头学习，然后走出自己的路。他后来发展出一种书法，叫做6分半书，就是把篆书、隶书、草书、楷书、行书混在一起，自己组合出一种新的写法。人家说这不伦不类，他说你说的对，我就是要不伦不类。这就是郑板桥，他知道自己要神魔，他不在乎你怎么定义他。他考科举，考了很多年，中间失败过，40岁才中进士，这在当时算是很晚的。做官之前有一段时间，他在扬州卖画为生。扬州那个时候是个商业繁荣的地方，有很多盐商，有很多有钱的人，也有很多附庸风雅的人。他卖画的方式很有名，他写了一个润格，就是公开定收费标准，明码标价，大幅多少钱，小幅多少钱，诗词赠答不收费。他还说，凡送礼物、实物的一概不收，要的话直接给现钱。这在当时是很怪的事，文人卖艺，通常要装出一副不在乎钱的样子。他说我在乎，我需要，所以我定价。他说，钱是让人自由的东西，有了钱才能做自己想做的事，说自己想说的话。他的直率在当时让人看不惯，但也让人尊敬。他考上进士之后做了官，先在山东范县，后来调到潍县，就是今天的潍坊。他在山东做了12年的县令。他这12年是怎么做官的呢？有一年潍县大旱，庄稼没有收成，百姓没有饭吃。郑板桥上报要求赈灾，但朝廷批准需要时间，程序需要走，他等不及了，他直接开仓放粮。这是当时官员严禁的事，私自开仓是要被追责的。但他说，老百姓今天就在饿，等朝廷批准的时候人都死了，先开，出了事我负责。他开了仓，救了几万人，然后他替那些在灾荒年间借了高利贷的百姓，向富户追讨和解，让很多人不至于因为一场天灾就倾家荡产。他做县令的这12年，他的办公室常常挂着一幅竹子。他说，牙斋卧听萧萧竹，疑是民间疾苦声，些小无曹州县吏，一枝一叶总关情。他说他听竹叶的声音，好像在听老百姓说话。作为一个小小的县令，每一件小事都关系住人的命运，每一枝一叶都有他的责任在。这首诗后来成了中国官场文化里最常被引用的诗之一。道理很简单，但做到的人很少。他任官期间有个习惯，他在衙门的墙上留下了各种字句，提醒自己，也提醒手下的人。他说，做官的要替老百姓做事，不是替老百姓做面子。他还有另一个规定，是不接受馈赠，不管什么理由，一概不收。 这在当时的官场是非常难做到的事，因为那个时代送礼是官场文化的一部分，不收可能就是得罪人，但他还是不收。他说他做官是因为他有责任，不是因为他有机会。后来有一年，朝廷要让他升官，但那意味着他要离开潍县，离开他做了那么久的地方，离开那些他认识的老百姓。他想了一想，他辞官了。他说他不想做更大的官，他只想做好一个县令，但他也知道，这个世界不让他这样选，所以他选择不做。他辞官之后回到扬州，继续卖画，这一次卖得更好了，因为他的名声更大了，因为大家知道他是个不爱权位的人。他继续画竹子，画兰花，画怪石。他说他画竹，不是因为竹子美，是因为竹子说出了他想说的东西。竹子中空，说的是谦虚；竹子有节，说的是气节；竹子四季常青，说的是持守。他画的竹不是漂亮的竹，他的竹有力量，有风骨，像他这个人一样。现在我要说难得糊涂这4个字了。郑板桥写这4个字，是在他人生的某一个时刻，他想说的是，聪明是容易的，你有一个聪明的头脑，你看得清楚一切，利害关系，人情世故，谁在说真话，谁在利用你。糊涂是容易的，你什么都搞不懂，什么都看不清楚，索性就不想了。真正难的是什么？是你明明看清楚了一切，但你选择不去计较。你明明知道对方在打什么算盘，但你选择往前走。你明明知道这件事没有完美的答案，但你选择不在完美上面消耗自己。这种糊涂，不是真的糊涂，是选择不被每一件事都困住的智慧，是一种更高层次的清醒。他说聪明难，糊涂难，由聪明转入糊涂更难。这句话说的是一种人生的修炼。很多人年轻的时候要赢，要对，要说清楚每一件事，要让所有人承认你是对的。但你年纪越大，你越发现，很多时候不是对不对的问题，是值不值得的问题，是你想把有限的精力放在哪里的问题。难得糊涂说的不是放弃，说的是拣选，说的是你对自己真正重要的事情清醒，对其他的事情选择轻轻放下。这4个字在今天的社群媒体时代，有一种特别深的共鸣。每天那么多事情在你眼前飞过，那么多人在争论，在评论，在要求你表态。难得糊涂说的是，你不需要对每一件事都有立场，你不需要在每一场辩论里都发言，保留你的力气，留给真正重要的事。郑板桥的画在今天是文物，他的书法在今天是珍品，他的诗在今天还被引用，但他给这个世界留下最重要的东西，可能不是那些有形的作品，而是他这个人本身示范的一种态度，清醒而不残忍，有原则而不固执，在体制里做事，却不被体制吞没，知道自己要什么，也知道什么东西不值得去要。他晚年穷困，但他说他从来不后悔离开官场。他说他最值钱的东西是他的笔，是他说自己想说的话的自由。他72岁去世，在扬州，在他熟悉的地方，贫穷但自由。最后，我想用他的一句诗结束今天的故事：咬定青山不放松，立根源在破岩中，阡陌万机悬间尽，任尔东西南北风。他说竹子咬住青山不放松，根扎在破石头缝里，被打了1000次10000次，还是挺住，让东西南北风随便吹。这说的是竹子，也说的是他自己，也说的是你。郑板桥，一个用竹子说尽了一切的人，一个知道难得糊涂真正意思的人，一个在体制里做自己，然后知道何时离开的人。谢谢你今天陪着沉思者 J， 我们下次见咯。Hello everyone, I'm Jenny. Welcome to Thinker J. Today I want to tell you about someone who wrote 4 Chinese characters. Those 4 characters ended up on people's study walls, on coffee mugs, stitched into embroidery sent to relatives. But almost everyone who uses them misunderstands what he meant. His name was Zheng Banqiao. His real name was Zheng Xia. Banqiao was his pen name. He was born in 1693 in Xinhua, Jiangsu province. During the Qing dynasty. He was a painter, a poet, a calligrapher, one of the 8 eccentrics of Yangzhou, and a government official who eventually chose to resign rather than compromise. Those 4 characters are Nan De Hu Tu, which we might translate as, it is rare to be wisely confused. Today we tell the story of Zheng Banqiao, the man who seemed confused but was actually the clearest-eyed person in the room. Zheng Banqiao was born into a scholarly family. His father was a learned man, educated but not wealthy. His mother died when he was 3 years old. He was raised by his stepmother, who treated him with great kindness. He wrote about her care and warmth throughout his life. He studied under his father from a young age. He was a child with an excellent memory and a strong independent streak. He did not just memorize. He wanted to know why. He showed a natural gift for calligraphy early on. But he did not simply copy the classical masters. He studied them deeply, then found his own way through. He eventually developed a style he called the 6½ script. A fusion of seal script, clerical script, cursive, regular, and running script. All mixed together into something entirely his own. People said it was improper, not belonging to any recognized category. He said, "You are exactly right. That is precisely what I intended. This is Zheng Banqiao." He knew what he wanted. He did not need your approval of his definitions. He sat the imperial examinations for many years. He did not pass until he was 40 years old. That was considered quite late. Before he entered government service, he spent time in Yangzhou selling paintings. Yangzhou was a prosperous commercial city at the time, full of salt merchants and wealthy patrons. The way he sold his work became famous. He published an open price list. Large paintings at this price. Small paintings at that price. Poems exchanged as gifts, free of charge. He added, "Gifts of food or objects will be refused. Cash only please." This was considered very strange behavior for a scholar artist. The convention was to appear indifferent to money. He said no. "I care about money. I need it. So I will name my price." He said money is what allows a person to be free. With money, you can do what you want to do. And say what you want to say. His directness made people uncomfortable. It also made people respect him. After passing the examinations, he served as a county magistrate. First in Fanxian, then in Weixian in Shandong province. What is now Weifang. He served in Shandong for 12 years. How did he govern? One year, Weixian experienced a severe drought. The harvest failed. The people had nothing to eat. Zheng Banqiao submitted reports requesting disaster relief. But official approval took time. The process had steps. He could not wait. He opened the government granaries himself and distributed grain. This was strictly forbidden for county officials at the time. Unilaterally opening the stores was a serious breach of procedure. He said, "The people are starving today. By the time official approval arrives, they will be dead. I am opening the stores now. If there are consequences, I will take them." He opened the granaries. He fed tens of thousands of people. He also negotiated on behalf of those who had borrowed at ruinous interest rates during the disaster, making sure that 1 year of drought did not destroy entire families for decades. During his 12 years as a county official, he kept a scroll painting of bamboo in his office. He wrote a poem alongside it. "Lying in my office, I hear the rustling of bamboo. It sounds to me like the voices of the people and their suffering. A small official in a small county. Every single leaf and branch is my responsibility." He said the sound of bamboo leaves reminded him of the people he served. As a minor official in a minor county, every small matter touched someone's life. Every branch, every leaf, was his to care for. This poem became one of the most often cited pieces of writing about government responsibility in Chinese history. Simple in its message. Rare in its practice. He did not accept gifts during his time in office. For any reason. This was extremely difficult to maintain in the culture of that era. Refusing gifts could mean offending powerful people. He refused anyway. He said he held office because he had responsibility, not because he had opportunity. When the time came that he was offered a promotion, one that would require him to leave Weixian, Leave the place he had served for so long. Leave the people he had come to know. He resigned. He said he did not want a bigger position. He only wanted to do his county job well. But the world would not let him choose that. So he chose to leave. He went back to Yangzhou and continued selling paintings. This time with greater success. Because his reputation was larger. And because everyone knew he was a man who had walked away from power. He kept painting bamboo, orchids, and strange rocks. He said he painted bamboo not because bamboo is beautiful, but because bamboo says the things he wanted to say. Bamboo is hollow at its center. That speaks of humility. Bamboo has joints. That speaks of integrity. Bamboo stays green through all 4 seasons. That speaks of perseverance. The bamboo he painted was not decorative. It had force. It had character. Like the man himself. Now let me tell you what Nan De Hu Tu actually means. Zheng Banqiao wrote those 4 characters at a particular moment in his life. What he was saying is this. Being smart is easy. You have a clear mind. You can see everything. Who is telling the truth? Who is using you? What the stakes are. Where the self-interest lies. Being genuinely confused is also easy. You cannot figure anything out. So you stop trying. What is actually rare and difficult is something else entirely. It is seeing everything clearly. And choosing not to get tangled up in all of it. Knowing exactly what the other person is calculating. And deciding to move forward anyway. Knowing that no situation has a perfect answer. And choosing not to exhaust yourself chasing perfection. This kind of confusion is not real confusion. It is the wisdom of choosing not to be stopped by every obstacle. It is a higher form of clarity. He wrote, being smart is hard. Being confused is hard. But the hardest thing is to move from being smart into a state of chosen confusion. This is a description of a particular kind of inner work. Many people, especially when young, want to win. Want to be right. Want to explain every situation completely. Want everyone to acknowledge they were correct. But as you grow older you begin to discover. Many situations are not about right and wrong. They are about what is worth your energy and what is not. About where you choose to place your limited attention. Nan De Hu Tu is not about giving up. It is about selection. It is about being fully awake to what truly matters to you. And choosing to set the rest down lightly. These 4 characters carry a particular resonance in today's world. Every day there are so many things flying past you. So many arguments, opinions, demands that you take a position. So many people waiting for your reaction. Nan De Hu Tu says, you do not need to have a stance on everything. You do not need to speak in every debate. Save your energy. Keep it for what is genuinely important. Zheng Banqiao's paintings are treasured cultural artifacts today. His calligraphy is prized. His poems are still quoted. But the most important thing he left behind may not be those tangible works. It may be the attitude he embodied. Clear-eyed without being harsh. Principled without being rigid. Operating within a system. Without being swallowed by it. Knowing what he wanted. And knowing what was not worth wanting. He lived his last years in poverty. But he said he never regretted leaving office. He said his most valuable possession was his brush. And the freedom to say what he actually wanted to say. He died at 72, in Yangzhou, in the city he knew best. Poor but free. I want to close today with one of his most famous poems about bamboo. Sink your teeth into the mountain, never let go. Your roots are set in the cracks of broken rock. 1,000 blows, 10,000 strikes, and still you hold. Let the winds come from every direction. Let them blow. He is speaking of bamboo. He is speaking of himself. And he is speaking of you. Zheng Banqiao. A man who said everything he needed to say through bamboo. A man who understood what Nan De Hu Tu truly means. A man who worked within the system, stayed true to himself, and knew when it was time to leave. Thank you for being here with Thinker J today. See you next time.